Well, good morning, wonks. Well, future wonks. Nobody's a wonk week 4. Let's be honest. So, future wonks. Good morning. Interesting and very important day at Valley High School. First, my meeting at the district has mercifully been canceled, so I'll see you in class today. But we're going to stick to the original game plan of what we discussed you'd be doing yesterday because it's a very long day, and I am inviting you to come to a special enrichment session from 3 to 5 o'clock where I'm going to show the uh, video Frontrunners, which is an excellent framework for us to really discuss the presidential nomination and general election process. So I hope your schedule is such that you can join me for that. It will be well worth your while. And it's also back to school night at Valley, which puts a certain obligation on all of us at a time to be present at school when the Republicans are having their second debate. So I don't know if we'll be able to actually watch that, but there will be plenty of news clips for us to tune into, and or YouTube that we can watch the debate at a later date. But we can certainly track it in some way. I think there are going to be two very important items here beyond just how are the other candidates going to deal with Donald Trump to try to knock him down a peg, but we really want to focus on the national security and foreign policy issues. Point A, I suggest we want to look to see what candidates say they would do to replace the Iran nuclear deal that they are so opposed to. Um, are they going to replace it? Are they going to enforce it strictly? What is their plan in regard to that? And B, are they willing to put forces on the ground to deal with Islamic State? Or is it just going to be more of the same type of containment policy, which they can argue is being or is not being successful? So those are the things we want to look for in the debate tonight when we have a chance to either see clips or see the debate in its entirety. But the bottom line is that the GOP candidates are going to have to win over dissatisfied voters. Whether or not Donald Trump remains the party's frontrunner for the presidential nomination through the fall, his supporters are going to be a potent political force that other candidates are going to have to confront. Are these traditional Republicans, or are these voters just people who are so angry with the political process, and the other Republican candidates are going to have to try to win those people over sooner rather than later? So let's look at the Obama administration today. President Obama delivers remarks to the Business Roundtable at 8:30 a.m. our time. He visits wounded service members at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. You should know that the National Military Medical Center is in Bethesda, Maryland, and it's called Walter Reed. Vice President Joe Biden is delivering remarks at the Solar Power International Conference in Anaheim, California, so he's just down the street. The U.S.-China Climate Leaders Summit is at 7:45 Eastern Time in LA, and he'll be swinging by there. And First Lady Michelle Obama hosts 63 local elected officials and representatives from across the country at the White House to celebrate the commitment to building healthier communities as part of her Let's Move initiative. Meanwhile, in Congress, the Senate, the Environmental Protection Agency Administrator, Gina McCarthy, she testifies before the Environment and Public Works Committee. Congress is broken down into committees and then subcommittees. You're going to be learning all about that. And she'll be answering questions about Public Works Committee to them about the 3 million gallons of wastewater that's spilled into the Animas River from Gold King Mine, which is north of Silverton, Colorado. You probably saw that the other week, that terrible environmental disaster. And the Foreign Relations Committee holds a hearing on Syria, Iraq, and the Islamic State at 11:30 our time, so 2:30 Eastern. There's your political daily briefing. It's coming out a bit later this morning, but it's a long day, so every bit of sleep this morning was worthwhile. I'll get this up and we'll attack this day. You'll move forward studying the structure of the Constitution and learning what kind of powers are delegated to are delegated to each branch of government, and if there are other additional powers besides those which are just delegated to specifically in the Constitution. All right, see you soon. See you a lot today, and go Falcons.